Well, where have I been, huh? And how did I miss Sharon baby chickens? Look at them challenge each other. Goodness gracious. Red Fred is the one in front of the solar fan right now. He's a mean cuss. It's not gonna work out, is it, buddy? It's not gonna work out. I am quite certain that the buff leghorn that he's harassing is also a rooster. I saw a video showing fluffing up their back feathers to see what type of new feathers are coming in, and I found like fluffy saddle feathers coming in instead of the round hen type of saddle feathers. And even though Red Fred is challenging Bug, yes, they have names. Even though Red Fred Redemption, we're dropping the redemption, he doesn't get redeemed. Even though he's also challenging Bug occasionally, I don't see any of that kind of feather coming in on the back of Bug, and Bug's very patient, so I was able to rifle through Bug's feathers. The ones that I am rather convinced, zoom out, haha, are hens, are so much friendlier than the ones that I'm rather convinced are roosters, which is an odd coincidence because it's not their temperament that's had me determine this. It's the pin feathers on the back of Scaredy Poof is the name of the buff leghorn in the back, which is like a blondie color. Not this one here, but the one that's like behind the feeder bin. Scaredy Poof has the saddle feathers coming in that look like rooster saddle feathers, and Red Fred frickin' crowed. He got mad at the thunderstorm last week and decided to have a full-on adult crow at 10 weeks old. That's a little exhausting, eh? Haven't heard him do it since, but also this fighting behavior is an added situation there. You're just mean. Plus the floppy thing on the head. He's the only one with a red comb and the wattles and everything at all. They're all supposed to be Easter eggers, though I think Red Fred is a Freedom Ranger, which is a broiler type of bird, but also dual purpose. I've had to start going around and pulling up a plant that I love because, you know, the research says that chickens would leave it alone, but they annoyingly seem to really enjoy and really go for the snake root, which could make their eggs and meat, depending on what we're doing, poison. So I'm starting to let them free roam, and the door's open. Here, you can see the door's propped open. I even built the coop myself, you can certainly tell, but I did buy a solar door because I like sleeping in and I don't want to feel like I'm torturing my animals by sleeping in. It's the best $50 I've spent in a long time. So, yeah, that's what's there. But yeah, I've been going around the front and pulling the snake root right now. And hey, I'm not really gonna move much with this because my updated phone that had the image stabilization built in won't accept a charge because it says there's water in the port. So I have had to, because it keeps saying that, I have had to switch back to my old phone that has no image stabilization. So I'm not going to walk around. We're going to do little snippet videos. But you can see here that there's a bunch of weeds stuffed behind the fence. Yeah, that's the snake root. Me getting it out the way best I can for the area that they've decided to free range. It's going to be a project to have snake root only inside fenced areas. That's going to be a project. But so far, they only come out and go in this immediate area between the house, and then they go back in. Like, I let them free range, but they've only just decided they're actually going to do free ranging, as opposed to sit inside there or sit on these little rubber caps and look longingly out the window. So, okay, so names, because you probably want to know. The black and white barred rock that's slightly under this strange item I found on the loading dock at work a year ago is named Berry. I often call this bird Berry Beautiful. It's short for barred rock, Berry. The one behind the ladder over there, that's Scaredy Poof, who I do believe is a rooster. And no, I can't keep roosters here. This is a noise ordinance city issue. And then under, let's see what we can see. That's Scamp. Now, it's kind of hard to tell Scamp and Scaredy Poof apart. But Scamp has more black in the tail. You can see the tail in the background. And more speckles on the neck. And Scaredy Poof has a blonde, curvy tail. And Scamp has a very stick-up and more black tail. Did you get your water? Yeah, I cleaned it out. This is really the water, but they still like their baby waterers, so it's like a treat when it's a hot day to try and keep them from kicking all of their poop into it. So then the next one here is the gray one here is named Bug Bug. Can you see it behind? See that one behind the fan? And then we have Red Fred Redemption. Because I suspected very early on that Red Fred was going to be a rooster, because Red Fred had a big red thing on the head really early on. And I don't know why, but Red Fred Redemption, in my head, I sing it. Red Fred Redemption, do 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 do. But anyways, it's a joke about an old video game. So in this immediate area, I have been pulling out one of my favorite plants because it's such a great deer prevention. Is the snake root. I have an older video on this where I go into a huge amount of detail, but snake root is toxic in that it builds up in the muscles and milk and eggs and anything that's fatty on animals, and so can poison animals' meat against the humans. It can also give the animals tremors and shakes and stuff. Yeah. Hi, Scamp. Nice wingy. So I've been working on that, prioritizing the areas that they've been brave enough to go into. And yeah, I've been ripping it out by the root. But I'm still going to leave it in the fenced areas where they can't reach it, because I do love the plant, and it's so great for the bees and everything in the late fall when they need like their last little bit of nectar energy. It's really, the nectar is so good for bees and pollinators in general. So that's been a project immediately surrounding the coop and then branching out. Down this corridor, if you look straight down the path, that opening there, at the end of that is my property line. There's a cardinal by it, if that helps with identifying. As soon as that red cardinal flies, you'll see where my property line is. Down there, shy of, it's not the picket fence in the distance, it's like a half lot. I have started, yeah, there goes the cardinal, see it? I have started an extra run for them down there. But there's a bald eagle nest nearby. We started talking about this before I went MIA for a year. And it's down off the cliff somewhere. And because of the bald eagle nest nearby, I do want to get bird netting or some sort of ceiling up over their enclosure and to really keep them safe in their long-term open space. From the looks of it, I will end up with 3 hens because you can't keep roosters. Huh, scaredy poof. And everything will be fine. But that's kind of good because 3 was my goal number. The minimum to purchase is 4 in Pennsylvania, and you know I'm in Pittsburgh. And so then I got wide eyes. I got Tractor Supply birds, so you know that's my fault. They don't do a great job of sexing them, but they are healthy birds. So yeah, even though I got pullets, I did not get more than 60% success rate on gender. That's okay. So yeah, that's what's going on. And then what's going on with me, if we want to watch the birds enjoy their shady spot there. What's going on with me is that I just got a new job at the same employer that I've been at for 19 years. But the last 9.5 years where I had been, it was sort of torture. It got really, really, really bad at the end because the oversight person passed away, and then only the really terrible person was remaining, and I was being treated the worst because there's only respect for people with career paths like the person who was a problem, and I'm an office type, not a scientist type, and it was just so bad. So I was staying above water. I now know I have osteoporosis, which is an advanced bone degeneration disease. I have a slip disc in my neck. I know about that, but I've had it probably for 10 years. That makes me get headaches that may or may not be migraines, but they are a pinched nerve, and then I have it connected to vagus nerve dysfunction apparently, and then I throw up. So that has just been me trying to survive. So yeah, the new job has a lot more work from home time, and so I'm hoping to get back on the channel here and start posting again. I am gonna have to switch carriers, which is why I haven't just gone and gotten a new phone, because I've spent enough time up in my skiing area that it makes more sense to switch to the carrier that has decent coverage up there, or at least one of their subsidiaries that's a discount bargain one, rather than be on the one that has zero coverage up there. So, but I'm prepaid till the end of the year, so I'm trying to see how long I can make it work on the old camera. So we'll make it work as best we can in this methodology. I'll try and post a lot more often than I have been, but what is the definition of a lot more often when my last videos were 4 months and then a year ago? So I'll just have to keep you posted as best I can. But this is the beginning of my second week at the new job, and it is so good to be making this change. So good. Such a relief. So I've got my fingers crossed about all this. And yeah, these little guys are maybe 11 weeks old now, because it was last week they were 10, I'm pretty sure. They were like 2-ish week old peeps on May 22nd. So if somebody else wants to do the math and tell me I'm wrong, I would love the update. Sounds good. Today is July 14th of 2026. And that is a garden update and bird update. And I think my community post has baby pictures of them, but I can add, if you want, comment and ask me for more baby pictures. And I should be able to download some of them out of my chat, because they are stuck in the camera that is on the phone that won't accept a charge, but I was sending a lot of messenger type. I have some chats that I can download photos from that I sent before to other people, so there's enough of them are retrievable. So if you want baby pictures of these guys on the community tab, let me know. I can start doing that. That's an easy thing to add. But yeah, here's chickens. And I think 3 of them are the 3 in the front, really. Black, gray, and yellow in the front. I think 3 of them are keepers, because I think 3 of them are hens. So, yeah. And I built that. I built that coop. I'll have to explain how it works at some point. So, yeah. This is just a chicken tour, I guess. A little bit of a peek at the garden and what it's done in the past year from this perspective. If we do more garden, it'll be stand still and look at the spot, just because image stabilization is not a feature I have right now. So, yep. Well, it's good to talk to yins. See you in the comments, I hope. Thank you. And say bye, chickies. Okay, bye. Bye.